Hello Namco Museum fans, and welcome to Special Episode 1. In all special episodes, I'm going to be doing documentaries of the arcade games that we play so you can get familiarized. Let's begin with Pac Man, everybody's favorite video game franchise. I was 6 or 7 when I played it on the plug-in system or Namco Museum on the Xbox. Pac Man became the most popular arcade game back in the 80s, and Pac Man, which is the video game character, was the mascot of Namco. The arcade game and the franchise itself was created by Toru Watani, the Japanese video game designer of Namco. I am a big fan of his work. Thank you, Watani. Now, let's get started. Pac Man is a maze game created in 1980 by Namco. You play as Pac Man, the orb-like creature, and the main goal is you must clear the stage by eating all the Pac Dots while avoiding ghosts. There are 4 ghosts: Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde. Each ghost has an AI personality. Blinky, the red ghost, he chases. Pinky, the pink ghost, she ambushes. Inky, the blue ghost, he scares easily. And Clyde, the orange ghost, he wasn't very smart. Your main objective is to avoid the ghost while eating all the Pac Dots. There are giant flashing Pac Dots that serve as power-ups. Once you eat one, the ghost will turn blue and they'll run away from Pac-Man. And Pac-Man's got 6 seconds where he can eat them. Once you eat the ghost, you get more points. There are intermissions in the game where Pac-Man becomes Super Pac-Man and something unfortunate happened to Blinky. There are other Pac-Man games but with different gameplays. However, I'm not going to be talking about Miss Pac-Man or Junior Pac-Man because they're not made by Namco. And second, Bandai Namco removed that game for some unknown reasons. I think it has to do with legal problems with AtGames. Super Pac-Man, which was released in 1982 by Namco, was a maze game like the original Pac-Man, but this time, Pac-Man goes super. Instead of eating Pac Dots, you eat fruits. To get to the fruits, you have to eat the keys to unlock the doors, and then get to the fruits. There are flashing Pac Dots in the game like in the original, same as always. And there's a new flashing Pac Dot. And that flashing Pac Dot allows you to become Super Pac-Man. And you can hold down the button to go faster, and the ghost cannot harm you. Pac-N-Pal, which was released in 1983, was a maze game too. Except that you have to flip the cards over and eat the fruits. And there are power-ups in the game that allow you to stun ghosts. Pac-Man has a partner, sort of. Her name is Mylu. What do I mean, you might ask? By the time you flip the card and you're trying to get to the fruit, Mylu will approach the fruit and then she'll take it with her. And you gotta get the fruit back before she gets away with it. Otherwise, no points. According to Wikipedia, this game was never released in the United States as it was a failure at the arcades. Pacland was a side-scrolling video game released in 1984. It was based off of a TV show by the creators of Scooby-Doo. In the game, you have to return the fairy back to Fairyland, and then, after you return her back to Fairyland, you have to return home back to your family. There is a new ghost in the game named Sue, and she's a purple ghost. What's her AI personality? I don't know for sure. Pacmania, which is a 3D-ish remake of Pac Man, was released in 1987. The game is the same, like you had to eat all the Pac Dots to clear a stage. However, there's a new feature in this game, and this feature allows Pac-Man to jump over ghosts. New characters are added, and the purple ghost Sue returns. Her AI personality is, she may not be as fast as Blinky or Pinky, but she is better at following Pac-Man to wherever he goes. The green ghost has the ability to jump, which makes it difficult for Pac-Man to jump over him. The gray ghost has the ability to jump as well, but she was impossible to jump over. Pac-Man became a successful franchise in the 80s, and there are new games to follow, such as Pac-In-Time, which is released on the NES, and my personal favorite was Pac-Attack. I played the Sega Genesis version on Namco Museum on the Xbox. The game is similar to Tetris, but this time, you can get more points by erasing blocks 5 in a row, and you can get more points if Pac-Man eats more ghosts. There is an enhanced version of Pac-Attack, which is played on Japan-only PlayStation 1 game Namco Anthology 2. Like the original, there is a puzzle mode and the 2-player mode. PacMan Arrangement arcade version was an arrangement game I remember very well. I played it on Namco Museum on the Xbox when I was 6 or 7 years old. Same as the original Pac-Man, but with 3D-ish background in 60-bit arcade style, and 2 players can play at the same time. There is a new ghost named Kinky, found his name on Pac-Man Wiki. This ghost cannot hurt Pac-Man, but he can mutate other ghosts. Based on the character design, he looks like a scientist ghost. He may not be a physical threat to Pac-Man, but he can make the ghosts even powerful. Once that scientist ghost merges to Blinky, Blinky can charge at Pac-Man at supersonic speed due to the fact he has a bull-like appearance. And once the scientist ghost merges to Pinky, Pinky will have a rabbit-like appearance, and she has the ability to jump to Pac-Man's location. Once the scientist ghost merges to Inky, Inky will be a cool ghost, and he has the ability to create a copy of himself. And once that scientist ghost merges to Clyde, Clyde will be an obese ghost, and he will emit Pac dots, making it difficult for Pac-Man to clear the stage. There are power-ups in the game like trapping ghosts in the basket, stunning ghosts for a short period of time, and giving Pac-Man the ability to digest Pac dots faster and super speed. There is a final boss in the game that you have to defeat, and the boss is a giant ghost robot. There are 2 phases. Phase 1, you have to defeat the scientist ghosts that are emitting from the robot. To do that, you have to keep eating the Pac dots until the power pellet shows up. Once you eat the power pellet, the scientist ghost will be defeated. Phase 2, you have to eat all the Pac dots. Each Pac dot you eat will send projectiles at the giant ghost robot, and once the ghosts turn blue inside the robot, it'll spin out of control, and your best bet is to avoid it. Once you eat all the Pac dots, there's a Pac-Man symbol you have to eat. Once you do that, the giant ghost robot will blow up. Then came the platform games, like Pac-Man World on the PlayStation 1, and Pac-Man World 2 and Pac-Man World 3 on the PlayStation 2, or the Xbox. By the time Namco Museum Battle Collection was released on the PSP in 2005, Pac-Man Arrangement CS version came to play. Different from Pac-Man Arrangement arcade version, but with free backgrounds and textures designed for PSP's hardware. There are boss fights throughout each world, and the bosses are giant ghosts. To defeat the giant ghosts, you'll have to eat the power pellet, and it'll split into multiple blue ghosts that you have to eat. There are 6 worlds. Pac-Man Vs., which was released on the GameCube in 2003, was a multiplayer game. 1 player plays as Pac-Man, while the other 3 players can play as the ghost. Pac and Roll, which was released on the DS in 2005, was a puzzle platformer game, where you play as Pac-Man in rolling form, and you must clear all levels. You use the touchpad to roll Pac-Man. However, I only played the Pac and Roll remix, which is on Namco Museum Megamix on the Wii. PacMan Championship Edition, which serves as a championship version of Pac-Man in 2007, released in 2008 on the Xbox 360, on Namco Museum Virtual Arcade. The objective of the game is you have to score as many points as you can before time runs out. There is a sequel called Pac-Man Championship Edition 2, which was released in 2016, similar to Pac-Man Championship Edition, but a new feature called the Ghost Train is involved, such as when you eat the Pac dots, the power pellet will appear. Once you eat the Pac dot, the ghost will turn blue, and then when you eat the ghost, you'll eat the Ghost Train as well, for more extra points. Pac-Man 256, which was released in 2016, was a survival game, like the Temple Run video games on the iPad. Your goal is to score as many points as you can while avoiding ghosts. There are power-ups in the game, assuming if they are equipped. This game is more in the era of free-to-play and that kind of stuff, such as survival games. The Pac-Man franchise was a complete success according to Bandai Namco, and Pac-Man became the mascot. The mascot we know today. And Pac-Man was a very successful arcade game back in the 80s. And the main reason why there are Namco arcade games today. Pac-Man appeared in other medias, like parodies, TV shows, movies, blah 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 blah. And hey, he appeared in Pixels, which is an Adam Sandler movie. That's concluded for the documentary about Pac-Man. However, there are more documentaries involved in my series. In 2 weeks, we'll be looking at the Galaga series. See you in 2 weeks.